Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
When undercover CIA agent Anthony Lagunas was granted an audience with President George W. Bush, it should have been a moment of utmost pride for the star operative. It is an honor rarely bestowed upon rank-and-file spooks, but one that was handed to Lagunas, not his real name, in recognition for the extraordinary lengths he went to infiltrate murderous al-Qaeda cells in the wake of 9/11. Instead, the notorious womanizer seemed detached, disillusioned, and only cared about whether he got to sit next to a hot girl on the flight over, former colleagues told Rolling Stone. Looking back, agents believe Lagunas' ambivalence was one of the first signs that he was beginning to lose his bearings, desensitized by his years in the field, pushed to his limits by his handlers. It was the start, they said, of his ultimately tragic struggle with PTSD and depression, which culminated in his death in mysterious circumstances in a hotel room in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Lagunas was one of a new wave of CIA operatives who were sent to bed down with radical Islam in the wake of 9/11. His legacy has divided opinion. Hailed as a hero by some, but dismissed by others as a man who spent his time around, smoking and joking, chasing women. But most who knew him say his sad demise is now a cautionary tale of the strains faced by undercover CIA ops, who, if they are not killed by the enemy they are supposed to befriend, are left in the hands of their innermost demons. More than 24 former CIA officials spoke under condition of anonymity to unravel an extraordinary story and ask whether what was really accomplished at the cost of a man's life. Lagunas lived undercover for around 5 years in the Middle East as an Islamic radical, burrowing into extremist groups while sporting a trademark bushy beard and needled scar on one arm from an old barracuda bite. He was one of the first batch of deep-cover operatives who the CIA threw into the arms of terrorists as part of an epical shift in strategy post-9/11. Instead of skulking around stealing secrets from foreign governments, the security services realized they needed to get their operations out of embassy in order to infiltrate terrorist groups. Lagunas was just a trainee at the agency when the plane hit the towers. But swiftly after the attacks, he and a few others were whisked away from the CIA's normal training program. At first, others within the agency weren't sure whether he had been transferred to an ultra-secret initiative or just kicked out of the agency altogether. It was 50-50, a former agency official told Rolling Stone. Back then, Lagunas was known as something of a wild man, he said. A heavy drinker, he was a bit of a womanizer, a lot of a womanizer, the former official recalled. Lagunas did speak some Arabic, but it was perhaps his unique, personal qualities that his superiors were interested in. He had the ability to detach from himself, recalled another former senior agency official. I don't want to say it's a split personality, or something like that. But the ability to detach one reality, and to adopt a second reality to the point where you're not acting it, but you are it, that's a skill set that can't be taught. Lagunas' ability to dissociate was extraordinary, the former official added. But his strength was also his weakness. It also became the root of his struggle to define where his undercover persona ended and his real life began, as he delved deeper into the world of jihadist terror. It is unclear exactly where Lagunas spent much of his time, but for at least part of his mission he was based in a madrasa in Cairo, as well as Saudi Arabia, studying the Quran. He wasn't the only undercover agent burrowed into radical Islam, but he remained undercover for longer and with fewer breaks, according to former officials. Lagunas also looked the part. He looked like something out of Hollywood Central casting, recalled a former senior agency official. An Arabic-speaking Salafist with a killer beard, decked out in traditional garb, an all-American Midwestern white boy turned jihadi, wrote Rolling Stone. But however much he embraced the role, there is no consensus on whether the intelligence he garnered was actually useful. One sector of the CIA felt the only information of any use was that could lead them to capturing or killing al-Qaeda leadership and